All right. So, in a far off corner of the world, there lies a barren desert. Devoid of most life, but still hospitable. You find yourself trudging through the dunes and the sand for days. Until you finally crest a hill, and ahead of you you see what can only be described as a small town in the distance.
Alright, I guess I'll make my way towards the town.
Alright. If you'd like, you can describe your character.
Oh, sure. I am a tall, rather athletic build tiefling with my horns kind of curl backwards. Almost look like imagine if they had been blown back almost.
All right.
They kind of surround my head, and kind of so they come out of my forehead and then curl back, almost kind of like a wreath on my head, but you know, like horns, and then at the tips kind of curl down almost like a ram's horn, but only at the tips.
Okay.
Yep. And
So,
I have kind of like dark, like kind of like a dark olive skin with like red undertones in my skin with jet black hair.
all right. So, you begin to trek down the large dune towards the small town. It's about midday now. Your water skin is still not full, but it's got enough water to last. But now that you've found civilization, it's not a concern. As you continue down, eventually you do reach the edge of the city, or not the city, the town, the hamlet, if you will.
Okay. Is there a sign or anything, or any name to be seen? Does it look like it's inhabited, or does it look like it's abandoned?
Make a perception check.
Perception. 18.
18. When you were high up on the dune, you did see people moving about, or shapes at least moving about.
Okay, so there's activity here.
Yes. And as you do get closer, you do see a small sign that reads Fallcrest.
Fall Crest. Okay.
All right.
I'll walk my way in.
All right. As you pass by houses and businesses, not too many businesses, more houses than anything, people do kind of stop and stare as you enter. Not out of fear, but more out of curiosity.
Okay.
As you approach the town square, however, you see a small cluster of guards kind of lazing about by a fountain.
I guess I'll just walk up to the fountain and begin filling my my water skin.
All right. As you do, one of the guards kind of gestures to his friend, who then approaches you and says, "What's your name?"
Oh, I'm just a drifter. Not really. You can just call me. You can call me Bones.
He kind of nods his head and says, "Welcome to Fallcrest. What's your business here?"
I'm just passing through. Kind of just making sure everything's, not particularly going anywhere in particular, just making sure everything is up to snuff. If you can catch what I mean. I haven't drank in quite a while. I'm a little lightheaded. I get some water in me, and I might start speaking some sense.
He just kind of raises an eyebrow and lets you continue filling your water skin. Eventually, it does swell up, and it is full. And he says, "Are you looking for work?"
Well, I'll check my coin purse. I have no money. If I could find a way to get some coin, that'd be nice.
It goes, "Well,
Or at the very least, something to eat."
another one of the guards kind of approaches and nudges his partner before whispering something in his ear. And then he kind of, the one you were talking to, turns back to you and says, "One moment." And they both turn around and walk away for a brief period of time before they begin talking to each other.
I'm just gonna wash my face off in the fountain.
All right. As as the sand kind of melts off your face and settles at the bottom of the fountain, the guard kind of approaches again and says, "What kind of armor are you wearing?" That's not him asking, that's me asking.
Oh, what kind of armor am I wearing?
Yes.
I have chainmail on, but I have kind of like I'm wearing kind of like a big, kind of like a light colored poncho to like keep the sun off of my metal, chainmail so it doesn't overheat.
Okay.
Like I'm wearing like kind of like a tan cloak over it. But I have chainmail on, yeah.
He says,
if you're asking like if there's any like descriptors that they can see, it's probably obscured by my big cloak.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to like.
Yeah.
What kind of appearance are you giving off?
Yeah, I just look like a drifter. I do have a shield on my back, and I have my shield on my back and my sword to my side, or my sword is technically on my back too.
All right.
Yeah.
But he kind of comes back and says, "How long are you going to be in town for?"
It depends. If there's any trouble, I might help. But other than that, if there's nothing that I deem is appropriate for me to stay, I'll just keep going. I don't want to cause any trouble if that is the case.
He kind of throws his hands up and says, No trouble. Just at night, if you do stay the night, there is a curfew in effect at the moment."
Particular reason why?
He kind of looks around, making sure no one's around, and he leans in and says, "Well, something's been killing folks at night."
You don't say.
Yeah, we haven't really, there's been no witnesses, and the few that come back to us, there's no survivors, and the few bodies that we have found, it wasn't an animal, but we don't know if it was a human.
Mind if I take a look?
He kind of cocks his head to the side and says, "What would you know about that?"
I just say I have a very specific set of skills. And, particularly good at, let's hope I don't know what it is. Because if I recognize it, then you're probably in more trouble than you think.
He goes, "All right." And he kind of turns to his friends once more, and he says something, and they kind of break off and go back to their patrol. And he says, "Follow me. I'll take you to the guardhouse. That's where we keep the bodies."
Thank you.
And he begins walking to the east.
Okay.
It takes about maybe a minute winding through the sandy streets. It is stone streets with there's a layer of sand covering them.
Yeah.
And he eventually takes you to this large 2-story building with 4 guards posted in the front. And you can see up on the railing above 2 more guards with crossbows. He says, It's been weird. These killings, they've been going on for about a month now. We, like I said, no witnesses. The bodies are mutilated, and we don't really have any leads. And we don't have the men to patrol at night. We're stretched too thin. But
I could. Let me take a look. I'll see what I can figure out.
he nods and he opens the door and takes you inside. You see maybe another 1 or 2 guards. Not that many posted inside the base. It looks like most of them are out at patrols. But he does take you down a basement staircase to this room that's just ice cold. And it's got a metal table in the center, and to the sides are these small stone chests. And he says, this is where we've been storing the bodies. But like I said, not much to look at. And he kind of comes over and he opens a chest. And he lifts out a big sack. Takes it over to the metal table, slaps it on, unties it, and as he does, it just spills open, and the contents would seem to be a leg, an arm, a partially intact torso, and that's about it.
Any particular reason why you're keeping them in stone chests?
There's no particular reason.
Okay. I'll do an investigation check to see if I'm gonna look for, like, does the body look like it was torn apart, or does it look like it was, like, bitten apart?
Make an investigation check.
That is a 13.
13. It doesn't look like it's been ripped apart. It looks like it was almost cut. The leg is clean cut. The arm's a little haggard, but still you can tell it was a blade of some kind. And as for the torso, it looks eviscerated, but at the same time it's clean cuts.
Does it look like something cut its way out, or something outside cut the thing?
Make a medicine check.
That is an 18.
18? It does appear that something cut its way out. From the chest area, at least. The arm and the leg, it looks like it was maybe post-mortem. There's no real blood. There was no blood flow. But the chest wounds do seem like something cut its way out.
This is odd. Something cut its way out of these corpses. Does it look post-mortem, or this is what killed them?
It looks like this is what killed him.
Do I recognize this in any way? Does this ring any bells? To do like an Arcana nature?
Make an Arcana, because of the way you're looking for something unnatural, so it'd be Arcana.
Yeah. So this is a 23.
23.
Yes.
You haven't seen anything specifically like this, but you have heard tales and rumors about bodies, something bursting from the inside out.
Interesting. I'll look up at the guard. I'll stay for the evening, and I'll see if I can solve your problem.
He goes, that would be greatly appreciated. If you want, we can find you a bed in the barracks.
It should be fine. I can sleep outside.
Fair enough. And he kind of starts putting the parts back into the sack.
All right. I'm gonna make my way back outside.
All right.
I'm gonna go back down to the guy actually. Question: do you know these people?
He goes, well, when the bodies are found, it's hard to identify them. We've just been going off who goes missing. For all we know, there's been more deaths, but we're just going off what we can piece together.
In regards to the people that went missing, were they complaining of any illness or odd feelings before going missing?